from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Breaking news this morning, a suspect is still on the run after a double shooting late last night. Details are coming up.
And this morning, intelligence officials are still assessing the potential risk to national security after classified documents were found at former President Trump's Florida residence.
Could it be a wetter work week? Mike Osterage is standing by as we ramp up to Labor Day weekend. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, August 29th.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. It was a nice one. We had fun at the Pigskin Classic.
We did. It was a blast. It was quite warm yesterday. Very, very humid this morning, which makes us wonder, are we setting the stage for some rain around here?
Hope so. That would be the good payoff, I think.
Well, there are a couple of showers. Not the best rain chance today. Most of it's going to be down to the southeast. And yes, it is going to stay very humid all day long. So we're going to be dealing with those heat index readings that are going to be well up into the hundreds today. So no temperatures there. But yeah, you can cut the humidity with a knife. It pushes back when you step outside this morning. Lots of clouds hanging around here. And we do have a couple of showers down to the southeast. Just one or two of these kind of coming on in here. And zoom in a little bit closer right there near Victoria. And then come in even closer. And just to the north of Nixon, everything kind of sliding up to the northwest. You may get one of those showers in Seguin. It's just got a very small mention of it. And again, primarily south and east is where you're going to see the majority of any rain throughout the day today, especially later on this afternoon. You know, one or two may kind of come a little further inland, but it's possible, not likely. 78 degrees right now, 81 Castroville, and then these numbers, they are sky. I can't tell you the last time I saw a dew point temperature of 77 degrees. That is beyond rainforest kind of humidity. 75 Castroville, 76 at Stinson, and so heat index readings right now, it feels like 86 in Castroville, 83 Port SA, and 81 out there at the airport. Like I said, it's going to be hot and humid all day long. Mold and fall elm both on the high side. Pigweed is low throughout the rest of the morning. Mostly cloudy, very humid. Again, a shower or two mainly to the east and southeast, and then later on this afternoon, 95. Normal high is 94, so just a tad above that, and we'll have kind of a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Couple of showers scattered about here and there. Again, like I said, mainly southeast, but that 95 is going to feel like it's the low hundreds. Better rain chances this week. We'll get that all sorted out and take a look ahead to the unofficial end of summer coming up this weekend. Steph, Mark.
Mike, thank you very much. Taking a live look at Cape Canaveral, Florida. NASA's Artemis moon rocket set to launch at 7:33 our time this morning. So far, the mission remains on track despite a series of lightning strikes at the launch pad. The 322-foot Space Launch System rocket is the most powerful ever built by NASA. It is poised to send an empty crew capsule into lunar orbit. We'll have updates throughout the morning right here on GMSA. And coming up today on GMSA at 9, just hours after the scheduled launch, we'll talk more about Artemis 1. A retired NASA astronaut, Colonel Eileen Collins, who lives here in San Antonio, will join us live here in the studio for Q&A.
This morning, San Antonio police are looking for a suspect who they believe forced his way into an apartment and shot two men. Officers were called to the apartment complex around 10 p.m. Sunday in the 4000 block of East South Cross. They found two men injured with gunshot wounds in that apartment. One of the men was shot in the foot. His injury was determined to be non-life-threatening. The other 20-year-old man was shot in the chest. Police said his injury was critical. Both of the men were taken to EMS by an area hospital. There's no trace of the suspect when police got there, and officers are still working to locate any witnesses.
Now to the latest following the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago. ABC News has learned a Florida judge could be close to approving a request from lawyers from former President Trump to appoint a third party to review the trove of highly classified materials seized from Trump's Florida home.
ABC's Justin Finch has a story from Washington.
This morning, increasing concerns over potential damage to national security following the FBI search of former President Trump's Florida estate. ABC News has learned the Director of National Intelligence has sent a letter to top congressional lawmakers confirming an assessment is underway. That heavily redacted affidavit used in the search of Mar-a-Lago released Friday, revealing some critical details. The FBI launched the search in part on evidence from a significant number of civilian witnesses. The Justice Department warning that as the investigation continues, key witnesses could face intimidation or retaliation. There is an ongoing grand jury investigation, and prosecutors have already identified potential targets and are looking for more.
The most important part that's redacted, though, relates to the obstruction. And that, to me, is what this all is going to come down to.
The FBI has found documents involving the most sensitive of classified material, including some on human intelligence, spies, electronic eavesdropping, and secrets from allies.
Disclosing these methods place all Americans at risk.
From across the Republican Party, demands for more transparency.
Again, I'm not saying put all the documents on the internet, but give us some sense of the subject matter.
Some have their minds made up.
The hypocrisy of folks in my party that spent years chanting "lock her up" about Hillary Clinton because of some deleted emails or quote-unquote wiping a server are now out there defending a man who very clearly did not take the national security of the United States to heart.
Former President Trump fighting back. A hearing is set for later this week on his request for a Florida federal court to name a special master, a third-party expert to review the FBI seized evidence from Mar-a-Lago. Trump's special master request hearing is set for September 1st. The judge already indicating her preliminary intent to approve that special master request. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
The death toll continues to rise in Pakistan, where monsoon rains and flooding have killed more than 1,000 people, including more than 350 children. The Pakistani army is helping with relief and rescue operations as the government calls for international aid. The country is experiencing its 8th cycle of monsoon rains. Normally, Pakistan only has 3 to 4 cycles. At least 33 million people have been affected by the flooding.
Democratic candidate for Governor Beto O'Rourke has had to put his campaign on pause due to illness. O'Rourke says he was hospitalized Friday here in San Antonio for a bacterial infection. After receiving IV antibiotics, doctors told him to go home and rest. He will recuperate at his home in El Paso while he recovers. O'Rourke campaign officials are postponing a number of events as a result.
The federal government is ending its offer to ship free at-home COVID tests this coming Friday. The Biden administration first launched the program through the covid.gov website in January. Americans were able to order 4 free tests per household and then could place a second order in March. A third round began in May, making every household eligible for more than a dozen COVID tests. The covid.gov website now shows a message says that ordering for tests will be suspended Friday, September 2nd. The reason, Congress hasn't provided the additional funding necessary to continue that program.
And time now, 4:37 and 78 degrees for now.
Up next, with the preseason wrapping up, the Cowboys and Texans both have high hopes moving into the beginning of the regular season.
And a quick look outside with TransGuide right now, looking there at Highway 281. It looks like there's a crash there at 281 southbound near St. Mary's. That's what we're looking at right now. We're going to be checking with Stephen Cavazos for the very latest on this.
This has been there for a little while now, but it continues to be a problem, so be advised. Outside with live cam, morning low clouds, tons and tons of humidity. And Mike, looking long term, is saying our rain chances will actually go up as we head into midweek.
Now at Family Leisure.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
The NFL preseason now over. Let the regular season begin in 2 weeks, but not without some major decisions to be made on NFL cutdown week. Cowboys finished off their exhibition season by edging out the Seahawks 27-26. The loss by Seattle helped Seahawks coach Pete Carroll decide who will take over for the traded Russell Wilson. It's after Geno Smith and that is Geno Smith after the Cowboys intercepted Drew Lock 3 times. And then later, Ben DiNucci came into the game and was able to find Peyton Hendershot for the game-winning touchdown with just over 4 minutes left. Biggest decision head coach Mike McCarthy has to make now is, does he start rookie Tyler Smith at left tackle in the way of Tyron Smith's serious injury?
We got a lot of work to do next 48 hours. And, you know, as far as the decisions on how we'll line up offensive line, we'll get that, we'll get that done in the next couple of days.
I started slow, but
overall played well, took care of the ball, moved the ball down the field, scored, and gave us a chance. I think with a greater sample size, you'd be able to see more, but at the end of the day, I put it all out there, and that's all I can do.
Will Greer was a player on the bubble with cut day on Tuesday, but Ben DiNucci has been told he is being released to get the roster down to 53 men. Houston Texans finished up their preseason with their third win and a shutout against the Niners, 17-0. Big story for the Texans continues to be rookie running back Dameon Pierce. He has made a case for himself to start on opening day with his performance in the preseason against the Niners. He had 6 carries for 37 yards and a touchdown. Davis Mills was 6 of 10 for 58 yards and a touchdown as well to Chris Moore to get a little extra work before calling it a night. It was also the first game for former Aggie offensive lineman Kenyon Green, who got time with the second team after the Texans made him the 15th pick overall.
I thought he did some good things. He's missed a little bit of time, but there's some flash plays that he had. But Kenyon Green is a good football player. Again, the injuries kind of knocked him back a little bit, but when he's been out there practicing, we've seen these type of plays that you're talking about. For you to bring him up, everybody kind of noticed some of the blocks that he made. He's right on schedule, progressing the way we would like for him to.
Texans now get ready for their season opener against the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday, September 11th at high noon.
And time now is 4:43 and 78 degrees for now. Still ahead, a first look at a life-saving act of heroism by a 10-year-old boy, all caught on camera. Hi, welcome back. It is 4:46. A 10-year-old boy saved his mom from drowning after she suffered a seizure in their swimming pool. ABC's Ariel Reshef has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a life-saving act of heroism by a 10-year-old boy caught on camera.
I was bored. I was heartbroken, but I was also at the same time so completely proud of Gavin.
Mom Lori Keeney suffering a seizure in her swimming pool. Her son Gavin rushing to save her from drowning. Now they're telling their story to GMA.
I wasn't surprised that Gavin can handle a seizure. I was just to him pull me to that ladder and hold me until I stopped seizing. It was amazing. This could have killed me. I would have drowned.
I was scared a little bit because it was the first time in the pool.
And we'll hear much more from this courageous boy and his grateful mom coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Ariel Reshef, ABC News, New York.
It's the most sacred object in Judaism, the Torah. The scrolls contain the compilation of the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible.
Creating a Torah is a holy ritual that takes months in the very least. As Courtney Friedman reports, a group of young adults here in San Antonio took on that task and this past weekend celebrated the completion of their very own Torah.
A celebration worthy of a parade. Dancing and blowing the traditional shofar. The center of the celebration, this Torah, a sacred scroll read aloud at prayer services and holidays. Containing more than 300,000 letters, the handwritten scroll takes months to complete, a task the organization Young and Jewish San Antonio took very seriously.
Past to take the values of our predecessors of the Torah, of tradition, and pass it on to the future and in a relevant way, in a happy and fun way.
Chabad Rabbi Eli Block is the group's co-chair and says the traditional celebration of completing a new Torah is over 3,000 years old.
The celebration really symbolizes the continuation of Judaism, the kind of the golden chain, the link of past, present, and the future.
Important that the new Torah was created by young Jewish community members, carrying these ancient traditions into a new generation, further preserving a piece of Jewish identity.
And that was Courtney Friedman reporting. Let's look outside again with TransGuide, looking again at that crash there at Highway 281 southbound. This is right there at St. Mary's. And yeah, things are still moving, you can see there, but very slowly. We're going to be checking in with Stephen Cavazos on this incident very soon.
Yeah, we've seen cars moving in both directions,
yes.
Even with all that, the flashing lights out there as we look back towards downtown. All right, Mike Ostrace joins us now, looking ahead to a week where we definitely have some rainfall chances, but a quick retrospective snapshot from one of the many pictures taken at the Alamo Dome over the weekend.
Yep, that was, I assume, during one of the games, and there's RJ, Alicia, and Lee, and John Paul, and our producer, one of our many producers, Alyssa, and yeah, we just had a blast out there. Was the stands, I mean, obviously the whole dome was not filled, but on each side, oh my goodness gracious, there were thousands of people that came out there. It was a fun time. So thank you all for coming out there and supporting that. The KSAT Gridiron Classic, it was fantastic. So, all right, we've got a lot of clouds hanging around here right now. We do have a couple of showers, primarily down here along the coast. This is where the majority of it is going to be throughout the day today. But also, we're seeing just a couple of these that are starting to move a little bit further inland. We even have some that are being detected right down here in southeastern Bexar County, and then a couple more right there in eastern Gonzales County. One or two of them, obviously, the mention of a shower here and there, but later on today, especially, the majority of any rain is going to be down here to the southeast. But we'll just kind of keep an eye on some of these little sprinkly showers here. May affect at least on 37, perhaps 1604 and 410 way on the southeast side of town later on this morning. So we're going to be staying in the upper 70s this morning. Plenty of humidity. Boy, you can definitely cut it with a knife when you walk outside. It is thick out there, and it's going to be staying that way. One or two showers scattered here and there this morning. Not very likely at all, but just that mention of it. And then we'll start to see that rain chance kind of come back into the picture. Again, that's taking into account down to the southeast. We're going to be up into the upper 80s at noon, low 90s, and then top off at 95 later on this afternoon. 1 degree above normal, and factor in the humidity, which the humidity is going to stay very high. We're not going to see that big 24-hour cycle that we usually go through, that daily cycle, with the humidity dropping off a lot. So with those dew points well up there, still upper 60s, low 70s, we're going to see heat index readings in the low hundreds today. It is going to be a steam bath out there. So here's the computer model, and this one maybe indicates one or two little sprinkly showers, most down there along the coast, and that's going to be the situation throughout the day. Possibility further inland, not as likely. More rain down here to the southeast, and that'll be the case going into the evening hours. Maybe a couple of showers. A few models want to get something going just after dinner time around here, so we'll look out for that. And of course, if you do get some rain, with all this moisture getting kind of squeezed out like a sponge, you could have some decent downpours around here. Then as we go into tomorrow, we'll start to see a better chance of rain, a little bit around in the morning, but then especially in the afternoon, we'll see more of these showers and thunderstorms around here. So it's going to be the middle chunk of the week when we're going to have the better chance for some rain, but we'll still have some as we go in toward the long holiday weekend. 87 degrees today at noon, partly cloudy skies. A shower or two is possible, not likely, and a few of them down to the southeast mainly. Yeah, there is a chance here in town, but not likely. 95 high temperature today, and then we go into the next few days, and nice thing is, wow, we're going to be at 90 to finish out the month of August, and starting off September at 91 degrees. Now, it's not going to rain everywhere. It's not going to be raining constantly, but we do have those rain chances. The better shot at rain is going to be, like I said, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Still a shower or two lingering in here through the weekend.
Exciting to see that.
The unofficial end of summer come Labor Day.
Adios, August. Okay.
Well, adios summer, at least June, July.
Yes, of course. 453, 78 degrees.
And coming up next, a look at this weekend's box office winners and details on a major discount on movie tickets.
It was a low turnout theaters this past weekend, but there's a new deal to lure in customers.
For our latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Lionel Moyes.
I want to go home.
Dismal ticket sales at the box office have this weekend earning its place as the lowest grossing of the summer, with theaters taking in an estimated $54 million total for all titles.
Help me, please.
Sony's horror film, The Invitation, earned $7 million to take the top spot at the box office.
I am ready. You are getting the new and improved me.
Brad Pitt's Bullet Train, with just $5.6 million in ticket sales, came in second.
But I am going to be a super villain.
But some good news for Universal's Minions, The Rise of Gru, which passed the $500 million milestone at the international box office. The latest installment of the family-friendly franchise has taken in about $868 million worldwide. Speaking of the movies, for one day this year, September 3rd, tickets will cost just $3 at a majority of American theaters. It's part of a newly launched National Cinema Day to lure moviegoers during a quiet spell at the box office. More than 3,000 locations, including AMC and Regal Cinemas, are participating, as well as the major studios. And happy birthday to Lea Michele. The actress is celebrating her 36th birthday. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Lionel Moise, ABC News.
And time now, 4:57 and 78 degrees for now.
NASA's new moon rocket is on track to blast off later this morning. We'll have an update coming up.
And Apple's revealing more about its upcoming VR headset. Details ahead in Tech Bites.
Now, we're going to hear from Stephen himself about the situation out there at 281 at St. Mary's. Looks like we've got some improvement. We'll talk to him coming up.
Changing lives. Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
NASA's Artemis 1 set to blast off this morning from Florida. We have details coming up.
And taking a look outside with live cam, we are starting off humid, but hopefully that will pay off with some rain. If not today, maybe later in the week.
And a good morning to you. It is Monday, August 29th.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a good weekend. And I have to admit, I'm looking forward to the rain.
Me too. And Mike says it won't be nonstop rain, but Mike, this is great news yet again.
Well, yeah, we've got a couple of sprinkles. I'm going to show you radar in just a moment, just few and far between this morning, but some better rain chances the middle portion of the week, which is definitely encouraging. And of course, with clouds, that's going to keep temperatures down. Now, humidity, that's a whole nother story, but at least with all this moisture in the atmosphere, it is going to be getting squeezed out in some places. 78 degrees right now, and then that bottom number right there, that dew point 74, which means it is really, really humid when you step outside. Just get ready for it. Glass is going to be fogging up everything else. 95 high temperature, which is 1 degree above normal. And then it's going to feel like it's into the low hundreds with all that humidity. Now, as far as the aquifer over the weekend, it did go up half a foot. Of course, a lot of areas still in water restrictions. Check in your area to see what those are. Mold high, fall elm is high, and a little bit of pigweed showing up on yesterday's allergen count, pollen count, and then more is going to be coming out, or the updated count, I should say, is coming out in just a couple of hours. This is what radar looks like as of right now, and we just have a couple of little, sprinkly showers. Best thing to take away from the forecast today is, excuse me, the majority of any rain is going to be down to the southeast, down there along the coast. We've got just a few of these showers that are kind of coming on in here, and a few more off the coast. So this will be the area to see some rain. Now, we do have a couple of these showers, though, a little bit closer in. And as a matter of fact, you can see right here around Poteet, and then sliding up 37 in toward Elmendorf, a couple of these showers, and even a few of them almost approaching 410. So you may run into just one or two little sprinkly showers, and then a couple of more off to these. So if you're heading out I-10, looks like these are going to be kind of moving in towards Seguin as well in the next, say, 15 minutes to a half an hour. So just a couple little light showers out there today, but otherwise, like I said, mostly just humid today. That's going to be the big thing going on here. And we've got 81 degrees is what it feels like. 86 is the heat index right now in Castroville. Very warm, humid, a shower or two, and rain primarily to the southeast later on today. Mid 90s, like I said, for a high temperature. Better rain chances and low 90s midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Still, though, some rain chances, a couple of showers, low 90s going in through the long Labor Day weekend. All the details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, good morning, Stephen. It's got some flashing lights out there, huh?
Yeah, Mike, we are starting the Monday morning with some issues there along 281 at St. Mary's. Now we're actually seeing some progress out there. Completely different shot from what our viewers, our friends at TransGuide were actually showing us a little bit earlier. You saw those flashing lights out there, and that was actually due to a crash that was reported earlier in the morning. Now, we are still working to get some information, but according to San Antonio Police, this is likely because of a wrong-way driver. We're going to have more on that a little bit later on in this newscast, but we do know that at least one woman was transported to a nearby hospital, and right now her injuries aren't necessarily known. But we are going to work to get that information for you. But as you can see, it's not causing any more issues for drivers in that particular stretch of road. In fact, it really wasn't causing a whole lot of problems there. 281 southbound near Josephine Street is where it was reported, but you can see the lanes are now open, and we are seeing some green on the screen. So some good news there. But as I mentioned, we'll work to get you some information as the newscast does continue. Giving you a wide look at the map at 5:04. No other issues to report at this hour. It's really quiet out there, so perfect time to get the week started. And as we take you to those travel times, no need to rush right now. I-10 heading in those westbound lanes. We'll keep an eye on it, but 30 minutes right now heading in from Seguin. 33 minutes while traveling on 87 northbound heading in from Lavernia, and a 28-minute drive time if you're traveling up from Floresville. So no worries there. And as we take you back to TransGuide, you can see there along 35 at San Marcos, traffic is already picking up. We're going to have those updates and an update on that crash along 281 in the next few minutes. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Now to that high-stakes space mission, NASA getting ready for a historic launch. You're looking live at Kennedy Space Center in Florida, where crews are getting ready for 7:33 a.m. launch time. It is the first major step for NASA's new Artemis program. Coming up today on GMS 8-9, just hours after the scheduled launch. We'll talk more about Artemis 1. Retired NASA astronaut Colonel Eileen Collins will join us live here in studio.
And for now, it is hoped that today's launch will not only take one day America's astronauts back to the moon, but also establish a permanent base orbiting it. ABC's Morgan Norwood at the Kennedy Space Center with more.
NASA prepares for Artemis 1, an unmanned but high-stakes flight and a series of missions that it hopes will eventually carry humans back to the moon.
This is really a test flight. We're stressing the system. This is really the risk is not low on this mission.
The last manned launch to the moon was Apollo 17, a 12-day mission breaking multiple records. But come 2024, and if all goes well on this test flight, we're going to the moon to stay. NASA's goal is to establish a permanent station orbiting the moon called Gateway. From there, astronauts could land on the moon, but it would also be a base for manned space travel to Mars and beyond.
From our current knowledge of the International Space Station, we have learned over time how to operate and live and work. So the Gateway is really an outpost.
Standing 36 stories high and packing 8.8 million pounds of thrust, the SLS will send the Orion space capsule racing towards the moon. Orion set to orbit the moon for up to 23 days, with systems aboard gathering data and with the help of its moonican, testing radiation levels. And crews are already training for this. Artemis 2 will send the first woman and first person of color to the moon. For now, all eyes on Artemis 1 for a successful flight. The first mission will take 42 days to complete before splashdown back to Earth.
This mission being successful is a sign to the world and to the American people that we've been doing our best with your resources, and so thank you. We owe them that.
And there's a 2-hour launch window to hit lunar orbit, so if things don't take off today, don't worry. NASA will try again on Friday. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, reporting from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
And back here at home, Uvalde families are calling on a local gun shop to stand with them in light of the Robb Elementary shooting. In a petition letter sent at the beginning of August, families are asking Oasis Outback to stop selling assault-style rifles and ammo out of respect for the lives lost on May 24th. Oasis is where the gunman bought 2 AR-15s. Now, the letter, which has thousands of signatures, including that of Uvalde CISD Superintendent Dr. Hal Harrell, asks Oasis to respond and comply within 30 days. If they don't, families say they're ready to keep fighting.
The family's grieving this morning after a house fire claimed the lives of their 2 pet birds on the south side. Firefighters called to the scene around 5 o'clock last night at a home on Betty Street near South Zarzamora. When they arrived, smoke could be seen from the back of the house. It was quickly contained to one room. Fire officials say the damage is estimated at about $80,000. They believe there was an electrical issue that was the cause. No other injuries were reported.
And time now, 5:08 and 78 degrees for now.
Still ahead on GMSA, first look at possible names for Apple's upcoming virtual reality headset.
Also up next, details on a special seminar that teaches coping strategies for military families who have experienced loss.
So go outside with live cam. Where is that umbrella? You might want to track one down this week. Keep it handy. When are our best rain chances? Mike will fill us in as we approach Labor Day weekend, if you can believe it. You're watching GMSA. 5:12, welcome back to GMSA on a Monday morning. Learning coping strategies and honoring their loved ones. That was the goal behind the TAPS seminar here in San Antonio this past weekend for military families who have experienced loss.
TAPS stands for Tragedy Assistance Programs for Survivors. Now, their goal is to find support for families through various programs based on an individual's need. A woman says she has benefited from TAPS after the passing of her husband in Iraq, and she encourages others to join too.
I'm just happy to be here this weekend and be able to provide that support for our families, the support that was life-changing for myself and for my family. And every time I leave here, I leave knowing that we've built a bigger family.
In 2021, more than 135,000 families connected with the assistance program, and their 24/7 hotline got more than 15,000 calls. The TAPS conference here in San Antonio wrapped up yesterday.
5:13, 78 degrees.
And still ahead, more details about Google Meet's new push-to-talk feature.
And new, coming up, Netflix is developing a way to allow members to play games with one another and rank themselves on leaderboards.
Thanks.
Jake from State Farm, I really need to know.
Go spicy or go home, right?
What? No. What if I'm not sure I have the right coverage for my car?
Oh, your agent can help me make sure it's just what you need.
What if I accidentally hit a food truck and it gets covered in empanadas?
You can file a claim on the app. At State Farm, we're there for your what-ifs.
Thanks.
Oh.
That is beef spicy. That's for you.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Allergy sufferers. Bedtime means it's time to take Zysol. Zysol relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin, and on first dose, provides the same relief as Zyrtec in a pill nearly half the size. Be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
With GoDaddy Payments, you can sell anything, anywhere. Get paid online or in person, and manage all your sales from one place with the lowest transaction fees. Because if you've got it, we've got you. Start today at GoDaddy.com/payments.
5:16, Apple trademark filings have revealed possible names for its upcoming virtual reality headset. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple has apparently started the trademark application process for its mixed reality headset. Bloomberg says the filings are for the names Reality One, Reality Pro, and Reality Processor. It was filed by what may be a shell company ahead of Apple's AR/VR headset launch. Google Meet is rolling out an unmute shortcut similar to Zoom's push-to-talk feature. Users will be able to unmute themselves by holding down the spacebar, and they'll be muted again by releasing it. The feature will be available next month, but you will have to enable it in the settings. And Netflix's games are getting more social. The streaming site is testing gamer handles on some mobile titles. The goal is to have subscribers play Netflix mobile games with each other and rank themselves on leaderboards. It's already up and running on the Into the Breach and other titles. I think I'll stick to scrolling through my phone on the movies. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
And time now, it's 5:17. Let's go ahead and check back with our Stephen Cavazos.
Things look pretty good over here, guys. As we get a look at TransGuide, really not a lot to show you out there. I-10 at 35. The roads look pretty good at this hour, so great time to get the day started. But as we mentioned, we had some pretty big issues off of 281 where we had that crash that was reported a little bit earlier this morning. Let's get a look and take you to the ground because we showed you some TransGuide cameras, but this is what that scene looked like a little bit earlier. Wow, you can see a lot of damage done to that vehicle right there. And according to a sergeant on the scene, scene, we learned that a man in his 20s was driving in the wrong direction. That's when he crashed into another vehicle. Now, the woman that was in the other vehicle was taken to a nearby hospital, and right now her status is still not known, but police do tell us that the man was detained for suspicion of a DWI. So you can see it looked like a pretty serious crash out there, and of course, we always hope everybody is okay, but we're going to continue to look for those updates throughout the morning. But for right now, let's take you back to the map. As you can see, nothing to talk about there. Just some quiet roadways as people are going to get their morning started. That crash that we saw earlier was in the southbound lanes of 281, but it's not impacting traffic anymore. Already cleared out. And right now, traffic looks pretty clear as we take you back here to TransGuide 35 at New Braunfels. It does look like the morning is moving without any troubles. There's the Alamo Dome there in the background. We had a fantastic time there over at the KSAT Pigskin Classic. We finally we got to meet a lot of our viewers out there. It was a really, really fun time, guys.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Thought about it all weekend long.
Yeah.
Didn't want the party to end.
I know.
And on top of that, 3 really good football games.
They were all great.
Amazing games.
Man.
So we're still kind of basking in the glow of a great success.
It's pretty good.
And especially, I mean, that second game, it's tough in a game like that when somebody has to lose.
Going into overtime.
It was also kind of cool because the CEO of our company actually flew in for this with her husband.
Yeah, so they got to see some good games.
Got to meet Catherine and her husband, which was very nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
Good thing I didn't know that before. Now I would have been nervous. So, all right, beautiful sunset, and thank you, Leah, for that one. That was absolutely gorgeous out there. We got some clouds hanging around here, and we do have a couple of showers that are showing up right now. As you can see, we're kind of seeing a few of them right there moving into the southeastern portion of the metropolitan area. More of it's down here to the southeast right now, and that's where the majority will be later on today. But again, here in and around Seguin, going out I-10, you may run into just a couple of these showers, and then a few of these around, say, Floresville and heading in toward Lavernia, right there around Poteet, and then Elmendorf, and kind of continuing to slide up to the northwest. So you may see 1 or 2 of these little sprinkly showers, especially on the east and southeast side. Even right there around, looks like 410, almost near 37, we've got 1 or 2 of these little sprinkles. So don't be surprised if you run into 1 or 2 little light showers around here this morning. Not really much of any consequence, just enough to make the roads damp, obviously. Temperatures are in the upper 70s right now, and there's a ton of humidity out there. So we'll keep 1 or 2 showers this morning. We'll make it up through the mid to upper 80s throughout the morning hours, and then we'll start to see that better chance for some rain, although not a great shot of rain. And again, this is 30% southeast. 1 or 2 may work their way further inland, but the odds of that are not that great. 95 for a high temperature later on today. All right, as far as the computer model, which, again, it is picking up 1 or 2 of these showers a little bit closer in, but the majority of those are down to the southeast. And like I said, that's going to be the situation then throughout the rest of the day, and we'll have more sunshine around here, so that's going to heat us up to 95 today, and then we've got the humidity on top of that, so that's going to make it feel like it's well up into the low hundreds. Again, not much rain, although a couple of models do want to try and scare something up in the early evening hours. Then we're going to be going into tomorrow, and that's when we'll start to see a somewhat better chance for a couple of these showers around here. Again, starting off down to the southeast, then more will be developing later on in the afternoon, and a couple of heavy downpours can't be ruled out. All right, quick check of the tropics. Out here in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, this has the best chance of any development. A couple of more little waves coming in here off the coast of Africa, but Hurricane Center is also watching this little batch of clouds in the western Caribbean, and right now it looks like that may help to kind of move into the Gulf of Mexico, but just help to pour some more moisture in here by perhaps later on late in the weekend. And that's a little far off to get anything specific with it, or get too specific with it, I should say, right now, but just something we'll keep an eye on throughout the rest of the week. 87 degrees today at noon, partly cloudy skies. Again, 1 or 2 of those showers are going to start to pop up, and most are going to be down to the southeast. 95 for a high temperature later on today. Then we go into the next few days. Better rain chances tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. Still a shot at some rain around here Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you have outdoor plans for the long Labor Day weekend, just kind of keep that umbrella in the back seat.
But keep your plans.
Yeah, keep your plans for right now. Just a smaller chance of rain, looks like, as of right now over the weekend. And low 90s.
Okay.
Not bad for
I'm going to the coast. I'm just kind of holding my breath about the coast this weekend.
Right. Hopefully it'll be pleasant.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Either way.
Just stick your toes in the sand. If you get wet, hey, what the heck?
Right? I mean, you're already at the beach. You're going to get wet at some point, right?
That's true.
523, about 78 degrees.
And coming up next in your morning spotlight, $3 movie tickets are coming to more than 3,000 theaters this weekend. Plus, John Boyega returns to the block.
On all the goods.
526, if movie ticket prices have been keeping you away from the Cineplex, your day is coming this weekend.
CNN's David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
Fewer people go to the movies on Labor Day weekend than almost any other time of year. So this Saturday, September 3rd, the Cinema Foundation is promoting a special event. At more than 3,000 U.S. theaters on more than 30,000 screens, all showings of all movies in all formats will be just $3 per ticket. Check your local listings for details.
Yo, check it. More. Them things.
John Boyega is going back to the block. The actor tells Collider he's helping shape the sequel to the 2011 cult classic Attack the Block, working on the script with writer-director Joe Cornish. The film about South London teens fighting off an alien invasion is often credited as Boyega's breakout role.
You cannot start without me. I start the clock. However, unlike a clock, sometimes my second hand stops, which means time stops. The reality is that it's not until I once again decide to raise that hand that time is allowed to continue marching along her very merry way.
Here's your first look at two-time Oscar winner Cate Blanchett in Tar, about an iconic composer and conductor. The drama from writer-director Todd Field opens in select theaters October 7th and in wide release October 28th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
528, 78 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, the latest on the state of emergency in parts of the South as rain and flooding impact several states.
Plus, Krispy Kreme launches an out-of-this-world donut just in time for the Artemis 1 mission to the moon. But you won't have long to get it. We'll explain.
And many Americans drank more during the pandemic, and the trend continues. And while you may be a long way from rock bottom, how do you know if you're in the gray? We'll explain on GMSA at 6.
Making headlines this morning, parts of the South under a state of emergency with storms forecast to flood Mississippi and impact neighboring states.
And taking a look outside with live cam here, no storms yet, but we are expecting some rain later in the week.
And good morning to you. It's Monday, August 29th.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a good weekend. Right now, just kind of humid, dealing with that for now.
Tons and tons of humidity, and it's already 78 degrees out there. Mike's going to talk with us now, preview some rain chances for the work week.
Yep, better rain chances as we go on in the week, but we got a couple of sprinkles out there right now. Nothing showing up in this picture. We are at 78 degrees, that number 74, which means the dew point temperature, which means it is extremely humid out there. Boy, you can definitely, just humidity pushes back when you step outside this morning is the best way to describe it. And we do have actually a couple of sprinkles around the area as of right now. Just a few of them that continue to kind of work their way up to the northwest. And as you can see right here, just south of downtown, we've got just a couple of these showers coming right there, almost in toward Breckenridge High School, and then a few more right around China Grove and down in southern Bexar County. Again, everything is sliding off to the northwest. A couple of more that are moving on in here just past Sutherland Springs and kind of coming up, well, in toward Calaveras right there. A couple of more are down to the southeast of us, and this is where the majority of the rain is going to be. As you can see, more of these showers that are moving in right there around Corpus Christi as well as Rockport. So that's going to be the best place to see some rain today, is down to the southeast. But again, we've got those couple of showers in and around the metropolitan area this morning, so you may have a couple of wet spots on the roads as you're heading on in, so just kind of keep that in mind. Perhaps allow a little extra time this morning. It is humid out there, as we were talking about. 87 is what it feels like right now in Castroville, 81 at the airport, 83 Stinson, as well as at Port A, and a whole bunch of mold is showing up, and fall elm is on the high side as well. A little bit of pigweed. The updated pollen count is going to be coming out in just a couple of hours. 87 at at noon, and 95 for a high temperature. One or two little sprinkly showers, just a mention of it again this morning and then throughout the rest of the morning, but we'll start to see more picking up later on today, primarily down to the southeast. 95 for a high temperature. So on the warm side by a degree compared to normal, plus all that humidity is going to make it feel like it's well up into the low hundreds. Better rain chances, we'll talk about that. Look ahead to the long Labor Day weekend coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Steven, still got problems out there?
No, actually, and given drivers can give themselves that extra time, Mike, as you were mentioning, because really nothing is going to slow them down this early in the morning. Let's get a quick look and see what they can expect for the commute right now, because shaping up to look pretty decent. We had some problems off of 281. Those problems have since cleared out. 37 at Carolina, you can see that traffic is moving through that direction, both directions I should say, pardon me, without any trouble. 37 at Indian Hills and I-10 at 35. Things look pretty good for this Monday morning, but as Mike was mentioning, give yourself a little bit of extra time for those wet spots out there. Let's take you to the map. Not showing any slowdowns just yet, but always take it easy out there. Of course, that's going to change as the morning commute picks up a little bit later on, but right now we can enjoy the roads. You can enjoy your coffee at home without having to rush out the door, and no need to rush over here to the Alamo City because no major delays here either. That journey from Bernie on I-10 eastbound, 24 minutes at this hour, less than half an hour from 281 southbound traveling in from Bulverde, so the usual time, and about 25 minutes heading in the southbound lanes of I-35 traveling in from New Braunfels. So no worries there, guys. Just remember to take it easy out there this morning. I-10 at Woodstone, you can see still a pretty quiet commute on that TransGuide camera. I-10 at Hackberry looks a little bit busier, but we'll watch the roads closely and have some updates on road closures in the next few minutes. Steph?
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, trouble appeared to have barged in on a man in Leon Valley, leaving him in the hospital with gunshot wounds. Police say the person who shot him broke down the door to his apartment. It's in the 5600 block of Evers Road. And Katrina Weber is there with a live report. Katrina, do police have any idea why this happened?
Well, they're still investigating right now, but based on what they say, it seems the intruder may have had revenge on his mind. The Leon Valley police say that the person with a gun kicked in the door of the victim's home at the Vista Del Rey apartments. They say he then called the victim a thief just before shooting him several times. This happened right before 10 o'clock last night. Police say a woman also was in the apartment here in the 5600 block of Evers at the time, but she took off running. Now, the shooter also ran away before police arrived. They say the only description they had is that that gunman was wearing a blue shirt and jeans. Now, the man who was shot was in serious condition at last check. Reporting live in Leon Valley, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. This morning, Mississippi is bracing for significant flooding. The Pearl River near Jackson is expected to crest today. And as CNN's Amy Kiley reports, parts of other states are at risk of flooding too.
The sandbags are down in Jackson, Mississippi. At least 100 homes are at risk as floodwaters rise.
Pearl River is forecast to crest today at 35.5 feet.
During breaks in the days of rain, some residents left town.
We're going to get out of here for safety. We got a truck loaded up.
There's my car. You stuck. Can't drive. It's too low.
Many who live here remember the punishing floods of 2020.
The whole house was damaged. We had to gut it inside. All of the walls had to be out. We lost everything.
Other areas of Mississippi could flood, and even parts of neighboring states.
We're looking at showers and thunderstorms, increasing the flood threat across portions of Texas, southern Louisiana, and a good portion of Florida.
The water cycle that we learned in 7th grade is completely unpredictable now.
Climate scientists warn the latest droughts and floods in the U.S. and other parts of the world won't be the last.
We've built major cities next to these bodies of water, and we've built modern supply chains based on predictable weather patterns of the last, couple hundred years, and all of that is up in the air right now.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
As tensions with China grow, 2 Navy U.S. cruisers are transiting the Taiwan Strait. A statement released by the Navy says 2 guided missile cruisers on a routine transit in accordance with international law. The USS Antietam and USS Chancellorsville went through a corridor beyond the territorial sea of any coastal state. The Navy says the transit demonstrates the United States' commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific region. Tensions there have been high since Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan earlier this month.
Nearly 2 decades after a serial sniper terrorized the D.C. area, a court has ruled the surviving accomplice must be resentenced. Lee Boyd Malwa was only 17 when he was sentenced to life without parole in connection with the D.C. sniper serial killings. His partner in the shootings, John Allen Muhammad, was executed in 2009 for his part in killing 10 people and wounding 3. The Maryland Court of Appeals ruled the 8th Amendment protects juvenile offenders from a sentence of life in certain cases. The court must now weigh whether the accused crimes was the result of transient immaturity or permanent incorrigibility.
Companies that experienced unexpected booms during the pandemic are now experiencing unexpected busts. Peloton stock soared 434% as fitness enthusiasts skipped the gym to exercise at home. Now Peloton shares have lost more than 90% of their value since the end of 2020 as gyms reopen to full capacity. Online home goods retailer Wayfair is laying off 5% of its staff as consumers return to brick and mortar stores. Shopify is cutting 10% of its staff for the same reason. Zoom, which boomed during the pandemic as it replaced in-person business meetings, has now seen its earnings plunge 71%. And Netflix, whose shares skyrocketed during the lockdown, is actually losing subscribers globally instead of increasing them.
And time now, 5:39 and 78 degrees for now.
Looking live now at the Artemis 1 launch site in Florida, the unmanned rocket set to blast off for lunar orbit at 7:33 San Antonio time. We will keep you updated.
And since NASA is launching that rocket today, Krispy Kreme is honoring the occasion with a special new donut. We're going to tell you when you can get one.
And up next, an update on the local housing market and what a local real estate expert is saying about the average price of homes here in San Antonio.
And taking a look outside with live cam. Humid for now, expecting that rain later this week. We sure hope so. We'll be right back.
11. Welcome back. Just about 5:43. According to Redfin, the average sale price of a home here in San Antonio was $295,000 last month, up 12% since last year.
But with the questionable national economy and an apparent pullback in offers on homes, how does the local real estate market look? Jack Hawthorne, CEO of Keller Williams Heritage, joined us on Leading SA this weekend to explain.
Jack Hawthorne joined us. We talked about a lot. We discussed the recent buying trends, record high rent prices, and how San Antonio has a unique market that is much different than Austin and much different than other big cities across the country. Here's a bit of our conversation.
Austin was designed intentionally to reject growth. And if you look historically, that's how it was designed. The original founders did not want that to happen. San Antonio is very growth minded. They want to bring in economy. They want to bring people in and have it a very, diverse economy with a lot of different services being offered. We also have the ability to expand in a lot of different directions. And so we see new builds and housing or tract builders coming in. They're throwing on a lot more inventory than they've been able to in the past. As supply lines start to free up a little bit, we see a lot of people still selling their homes and moving around. And so, no, we don't have any expectation that we're going to hit those crazy 25, 30% appreciation years because that's not healthy, it's not sustainable, and it's really not good for the economy.
You can check out our full conversation right now. Just head to the Leading SA section of KSAT.com. We have Leading SA every Sunday at 8 a.m. So, guys, we'll see you back here next Sunday. Back to you.
Thank you, Max.
Time now, 5:44 and 78 degrees for now.
Krispy Kreme launching a new donut in honor of NASA's rocket launch today, but you only have a small window to get one.
So sweet.
Welcome back. It's 5:47 in your morning consumer headlines. Round Rock-based computer giant Dell Technologies is ceasing all operations in Russia. A company spokesperson says Dell closed all offices and stopped doing business in Russia mid-August. The spokesperson said the decision was made in February to not sell, service, or support products in Russia, Belarus, and other nearby regions, in addition to the already embargoed Crimea. Dell joins other American companies like McDonald's, Ford, and Starbucks in scaling back or stopping operations in Russia in response to its invasion of Ukraine.
Krispy Kreme celebrating NASA's moon mission with a new space-themed donut. NASA is expected to launch the rocket later this morning for an uncrewed test flight around the moon. So Krispy Kreme is launching the Artemis moon donut. It's a donut filled with cheesecake-flavored cream, dipped in cookies and cream icing. The company says it's designed to look like the moon. It'll be available at Krispy Kreme locations across the country for just one day, and that would be today.
The factory that many blame for the infant formula shortage has finally resumed production of Similac. It is the first time the popular infant formula has been back in production since February. The Abbott plant in Sturgis, Michigan was originally closed after an FDA inspection detected a potentially deadly bacteria. An attempt to restart production this summer was hampered when the factory flooded during severe thunderstorms. Abbott believes it will take about 6 weeks for the new formula to begin shipping to realtors.
Time check 5:48.
And let's go ahead and check in with Stephen in the traffic lab.
I'm just wondering which one of us is going to do the donut run a little bit later on.
Ooh.
Those look cool.
Mike?
What, is there
Mike's his nose goes. Steph?
Oh, I guess,
All right,
guess
Steph
me.
last to the party there.
Well, you and I have to do all the cut-ins, and they alternate, so one of those two.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, Mike and I are busy, guys. Well, you know what the good news is? If you're going to go grab a donut right now, there's nothing really major that's going to slow you down. 37, you can see nothing to talk about, nothing really to show either, so that's great for any of those early bird commuters. Just watch out. We know that there were some issues a little bit earlier along 281. No need to worry about that anymore. That is cleared out, but you can see traffic's already just getting a little bit busier. Thankfully, it's nothing red is showing up on these roads just yet, but we'll watch it closely. And areas that we're watching closely continue to be those construction zones. We know crews have been busy along Loop 1604. This time on the northeast side, those structures ahead, those overhead signs are going to see some work, I should say. That will start overnight, so plan your commute ahead of time. That will begin today and wrap on Wednesday, August 31st. So just keep in mind, this will start at 9 in the evening, wrap around 5 in the morning. During that time, alternating mainland closures from Palisades Drive to Pat Booker Road. So again, plan that commute ahead of time. I've just updated the list of road closures on our website at ksat.com/traffic. Scroll to the bottom of the screen for those updates, guys.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you. Wow, that's beautiful behind you.
Wow. Yeah, another gorgeous, gorgeous view out there right around Randolph. Some clouds hanging around. Tell you one thing, it's going to be nice midweek to have more clouds to help keep temperatures down. Today we'll see more sunshine, kind of like yesterday, and it's going to be hot. We did make it up to the mid-90s yesterday. We're going to be up there again today. Here's some of the clouds hanging around this morning, and some of these clouds are producing just a couple of light little showers, and more have been kind of popping up as the morning rolls on here. And as you can see right here in just in the southeast side of town, and then also moving in toward downtown, we've got a couple of showers that have moved on in here, and they will continue to work their way off to the northwest. Not raining everywhere, but one or two of these showers just enough to kind of make the roads sort of damp. And then further down to the southwest and south, we've got a few of these showers just moved past Poteet. They're sliding up to the northwest in northern Atascosa County. A couple of more off to the east right there around Floresville. And then, as you can see, almost kind of right parallel with 37 down in southeastern Atascosa County. A couple of more off to the east right around Cuero. And then the majority of the rain is down here off the coast, and more of these showers and thunderstorms. And that's where the majority of rain is going to be later on this afternoon. We've just got a couple of these stragglers. And you can't really rule out a shower here in town even later on this afternoon, but the odds are not that great. So there's that 10% chance for a couple of these, scattered little showers around here this morning. We'll make it up through the mid and upper 80s later on this morning, and we are going to see more sunshine later on as well. Again, sort of like yesterday, enough to really heat us up, and then with the humidity on top of that, it's going to feel like it's well up into the low hundreds, and that 30% chance for rain primarily to the southeast later on today, which again is what computer models are indicating. This rapid update model is now kind of initializing with some of those showers in and around town. And then going to late morning, a lot of stuff dies down. Still have some of these showers down here to the southeast. Again, not a great rain chance today, although this particular model wants to try and scare something up into the early evening hours, one or two of these showers. And if you do get some rain, and this is going to be the situation, especially going into midweek, you can see some heavy downpours. Got a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, a lot to be potentially squeezed out, and that will be the situation. But a better chance of rain comes in here then, especially later on tomorrow afternoon. And then that will carry over into the middle portion of the week as far as that better rain chance. So the forecast today, we are going to be seeing temperatures get up into the upper 80s at noon, 95 for a high. It's about what it was yesterday, which is 1 degree above normal. But again, it's going to feel like it's well up into the low hundreds. 30% chance for some rain, primarily down to the southeast. And then better rain chances tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, low 90s. We stay in the low 90s, plenty of clouds hanging around here. Again, it's not going to be one thing. Don't look at this graphic and think, well, it's going to just be raining constantly. It won't. But there will be a few of those scattered showers and thunderstorms around here, even going on into the weekend. 20-30% chance for some rain.
Okay.
Awesome news.
All right. Thank you, Mike. By the way, I was just checking. It looks like Artemis launch may be not in jeopardy, but they've had some fuel leaks, so it may have affected the countdown. Okay. Yeah, so we'll keep you posted when we get some more information, but it's supposed to still happen at some point this morning. 5:53, 78 degrees.
Go ahead and look at your winning lotto numbers this morning. Pick 3, 878, Fireball 4, Daily 4, 7124, Fireball 8.
Cash 5 numbers 310, 12, 14, 26. Lotto text is 15, 18, 20, 32, 37, 51. And Powerball 2, 18, 56, 60, 65. Powerball 14, Power Play 3. Hey, special good morning to everybody that introduced themselves to us or we got to meet this weekend at the KSAT Pigskin Classic. It's so nice to meet our viewers in person.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, we're following the breaking news out of Oregon. A deadly supermarket shooting. At least 2 people are dead. The latest on that investigation. And the new details with former President Trump after the FBI search at his Mar-a-Lago home as the intelligence community calls for an assessment of the highly classified material that was left unsecured there. Those stories and so much more right here on GMA.
Another live look at the Artemis 1 launch site at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The unmanned rocket for now is set to blast off coming up at 7:33 this morning. We will keep you updated and have the very latest in our next hour. Also coming up on GMSA, 3 people dead this morning after investigators say a gunman entered a grocery store in Bend, Oregon. We'll tell you what we know so far. GMA teased that as well. And back here at home, a man in the hospital after he was shot in his northwest side apartment. And we're tracking traffic for you here as we head into the week. 35 at San Marcos. They've had some rain out there in that part of town. The roads are wet at 35 and San Marcos. So just a heads up, those cars kicking us some rooster tails. We'll be back.
At Rooms to Go.
The latest on the NFL punter who was released from his team following rape allegations. We're going to tell you how that player is responding.
Now we'll tell you when you might see video games coming to Netflix.
And taking a quick look outside with live cam. We're starting off humid, but hoping for rain later in the week.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
Good Monday morning. It's August 29th.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Those rain chances continue, and they'll keep the temperatures down, for the end of August.
All right. So this morning we've been watching the roads, and Mike's been tracking radar, and we finally saw some showers that popped up in one part of town.
Well, we've got a couple little spots here and there, and I'm trying to determine. It almost looks like it's maybe a little bit damp out there by 410.
Agree with you, Mike.
Yeah, by the airport, not just the reflection off the roads. And as you can see, a lot of these just light little scattered showers. There wasn't much out there roughly a couple of hours ago, and these things have definitely been popping up, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's not going to be really significant rain, but just a lot of the very light stuff. But as you can see, right here, moving through downtown, just to the northeast, right of the Pearl, heading in toward Alamo Heights. That crossed 35, so that's going to be on the damp side. And then just west of downtown, a few little light scattered showers continue. And further on down to the south, we've got some in northern Atascosa County, Floresville, and these are continuing to work their way off to the north and west. And a couple of more further off to the east, and these will continue to kind of work their way up, like I said, to the northeast. So we'll continue to see 1 or 2 of these light showers around here. Not really anything of any consequence, but just enough, as we saw, just to make the roads damp for your morning commute. And then a lot more down here along the coast. And this is where the majority of rain is going to be throughout the rest of the afternoon. 1 or 2 showers further inland, but that's going to be fewer and further between. Better chance of rain down to the southeast. Heat index right now, 80 Devine, 78 here in town, 80 up road in Canyon Lake. Very humid, and it's going to stay very humid throughout the day. Mold and fall elm are both on the high side. Pigweed is low. The updated count's going to come out in about an hour and a half or so. 77 this morning, and we'll see a couple of these showers here and there. A lot of clouds hanging around this morning. More sunshine later on today. Kind of a mixture of sunshine and clouds. 87 at noon, and then a high temperature today is going to make it up to 95, pardon me. And we'll have southeasterly wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Just one or two showers out there. Like I said, primarily down to the southeast, but those better rain chances are going to be working their way on in here toward the middle part of the week, and actually lower temperatures. But today, heat index, low hundreds. This is going to be a steam bath out there like it is right now. We're going to talk more about that and take a look ahead to the Labor Day weekend in just a couple of minutes. Traffic authorities, Stephen, got some damp roads causing problems?
Not yet, Mike. Thankfully, that's the good news. 35 at San Marcos. Let's get a look around TransGuide. From TransGuide, I should say. Definitely seeing the commute pick up, but as Mike mentioned earlier in the newscast, that we do know that there were going to be some of those wet roads out there. You have to drive carefully because it does look like traffic's picking up, and already we're starting to see things just get a little bit busier now that we've entered the 6 a.m. hour. So just watch out for these wet roads. We're going to watch them closely as well. But let's take you to the map, because that area 35 at San Marcos, just a little bit north of, Nogalitos, but you can see there the map not picking up any issues. Thankfully, more green on the screen than anything else. But as always, we know we do have those active construction spots that we're going to continue to update you on. But right now, you are in the clear. You can give yourself plenty of time before you have to head out on the roadways, especially if you're going to be traveling into San Antonio from any of these communities. Neighbors from Pleasanton, the drive's still pretty pleasant on I-37 northbound with a 28-minute drive time, about half an hour on Highway 90 heading east from Castroville, and the arrival from Lytle, about 17 minutes coming in the northbound lanes of 35. But again, watch out there because we do have those wet roads. You can see traffic is already picking up just a bit, but we're going to have more updates on the roadways, especially some of those active construction spots coming up a little bit later on. Steph?
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio police say a man is in serious condition this morning after he was shot in his apartment. It happened just before 10 o'clock last night on Evers Road near Northwest Loop 410. Police say that suspect kicked in the apartment door, accused the man inside of being a thief, and shot him in the chest. That suspect is still on the run.
A family is grieving this morning after a house fire claimed the lives of their two pet birds on the south side. Firefighters called the scene around 5 o'clock Sunday evening at a home on Betty Street, now near South Zarzamora. When they arrived, smoke could be seen from the back of the house. It was quickly contained to one room. Fire officials say damage is estimated at $80,000. They believe an electrical issue was the cause. No other injuries were reported.
Intelligence officials are still assessing the potential risk to national security after classified documents were found at former President Trump's Florida residence. According to new reports, when agents executed a search warrant at Mar-a-Lago earlier this month, they took 11 sets of classified documents. We now know from the heavily redacted affidavit released on Friday that the FBI suspected as early as this spring that Trump and his team still had classified documents in his possession. We're going to have more on this story coming up a little later on GMSA.
Now to the rape allegation against the Buffalo Bills punter cut by the team over the weekend.
And questions are being raised about when the team knew about the allegation and if it acted soon enough.
Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
This morning, Matt Ariza is out of the NFL. The Buffalo Bills releasing the rookie punter after he was accused, along with two college teammates, of gang raping an underage teen.
At this time, we just think it's the best move for everyone to move on from Matt.
The alleged attack came at a Halloween party last fall when Ariza was a star at San Diego State. The two other players allegedly involved have been removed from the school's roster. A civil lawsuit filed by a 17-year-old claims she was observably intoxicated while with Ariza and that he led her into a bedroom where the other two players were waiting. The alleged victim spoke to San Diego station KPPS.
They threw me down onto the bed, face down, and they took turns assaulting me.
Her father spoke to ABC News.
The first thing I did was, oh my Lord, how do I make sure that my daughter is physically cared for and safe? Then you bet anger comes in.
Ariza's attorney claims this is all a money grab.
He is 100% adamant that he never forcibly raped this young lady or forcibly had sex with her in any type of way.
Ariza saying in a statement, "The facts of the incident are not what they are portrayed in the lawsuit or in the press. I look forward to quickly setting the record straight." The Bills say they had no knowledge of the accusations when they drafted Ariza in April, but the alleged victim's lawyer was in contact with the Bills in late July, weeks before the civil lawsuit was filed last Thursday. The Bills then released Ariza Saturday, 2 days later, amid growing public backlash.
There are growing calls for the NFL to be held accountable amid a slew of sexual assault scandals. The NFL did not respond to our request for comment. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Serena Williams will kick off what is likely to be the last event of her farewell tour today at the U.S. Open. Williams announced her retirement from tennis about 3 weeks ago. She is set to play in front of more than 23,000 fans at Arthur Ashe Stadium, where she has won 6 of her 23 Grand Slam titles. Williams missed last year's U.S. Open with a leg injury and only returned to singles action at Wimbledon in June.
Despite inflation, there soon might be some discounts at a store near you. The Wall Street Journal says a lot of retailers have found themselves with way too much inventory, especially in clothing categories like activewear and sportswear. Sales in those areas crimped lately by shifted spending habits and people cutting back to deal with higher gas and food prices. The travel industry is still finding its footing after the pandemic. Experts tell the Journal that disruptions are likely to continue for several more months as airlines try to balance high demand with a workforce still ramping back up from pandemic cuts.
Apple has apparently started the trademark application process for its mixed reality headset. Bloomberg says the filings are for the names Reality One, Reality Pro, and Reality Processor. It was filed by what may be a shell company ahead of Apple's AR/VR headset launch. And game handles are coming to Netflix. The streaming site is testing them on some mobile titles. The goal is to have subscribers play Netflix mobile games with each other and rank themselves on leaderboards. It's already up and running on Into the Breach and other titles.
Live look at Cape Canaveral. NASA's Artemis rocket launch is on track right now. The countdown continues with 53 minutes until launch. So far, the mission remains on track despite a series of lightning strikes at the launch pad and also reports of fuel leaks this morning. The 322-foot Space Launch System rocket, the most powerful ever built by NASA, is poised to send an empty crew capsule into lunar orbit. We'll have much more on this coming up. On GMSA, it's 6:30. If for any reason the launch is scrubbed today, the next best chance to launch, well, I understand, is on Friday.
Well, look out for that.
Yeah.
Time now, 6:09 and 77 degrees for now.
Glad you're with us on this Monday. Still ahead, Mississippi and other parts of the South under severe weather watches this morning. That's coming up a little bit later on.
And just ahead after the break, the very latest on former President Donald Trump and the search and seizure at his Florida home.
And outside with live cam, taking a look at some slightly wet roads there by San Antonio International, just one of the spots around town where the freeways may be slick due to some showers. And Mike says the frequency of those storms may be picking up as we get further into the work week. We'll talk with him coming up.
Sonic or in the app.
Now the latest following the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago.
ABC News has learned a Florida judge could be close to approving requests from lawyers of former President Donald Trump to appoint a third party to review the trove of highly classified material seized from Trump's Florida home.
And as Trump insists he did nothing wrong, top U.S. intelligence officials are assessing potential risk to national security as they carry out a classification review of the documents recovered.
ABC's Justin Finch reports.
Good morning. For many Republicans, that heavily redacted affidavit is not enough. They're asking for even more details. This morning, increasing concerns over potential damage to national security following the FBI search of former President Trump's Florida estate. ABC News has learned the Director of National Intelligence has sent a letter to top congressional lawmakers confirming an assessment is underway. That heavily redacted affidavit used in the search of Mar-a-Lago released Friday, revealing some critical details. The FBI launched the search in part on evidence from a significant number of civilian witnesses. The Justice Department warning that as the investigation continues, key witnesses could face intimidation or retaliation. There is an ongoing grand jury investigation, and prosecutors have already identified potential targets and are looking for more.
The most important part that's redacted, though, relates to the obstruction. And that, to me, is what this all is going to come down to.
The FBI has found documents involving the most sensitive of classified material, including some on human intelligence, spies, electronic eavesdropping, and secrets from allies.
Disclosing these methods place all Americans at risk.
Former President Trump fighting back. A hearing is set for later this week on his request for a Florida federal court to name a special master, a third-party expert to review the FBI seized evidence from Mar-a-Lago. Trump's special master request hearing is set for September 1st. The judge already indicating her preliminary intent to approve that special master request. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
6:16.
And look like maybe some issues out there at I-35 in Nogalitos. Let's go ahead and check back with Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that, Mark. Steph, as we get a look at 35 there. Right now, traffic already picking up, but you can see off in the distance here, it's still pretty dark, but we do have some vehicles off in the shoulder lane there. That's because it looks like a crash may have been reported in the northbound lanes of 35, but also check out the roads. Still look a little bit damp out there, and some of these TransGuide cameras that we have on our wall are showing the commute is already picking up, but we are seeing some of those wet roads out there. So just drive carefully. Mike mentioned this a little bit earlier, but give yourself plenty of time if you have nowhere that you need to rush. As we are getting a look at this shot, it does appear that first responders are arriving to the scene. So we hope that this could clear up pretty soon, but looks like it's already causing a bit of a slowdown there in the northbound lanes of 35 going up there near Nogalitos. So we'll look for solutions for you, but hopefully you won't need an alternative route as the morning does progress. Giving you that wide look at the map, thankfully no other slowdowns are reported just yet, but keep in mind, still pretty early, so we'll see the commute pick up in the next few minutes or so. But watch out for some construction zones as we are getting closer to the month of September. Work will continue here off Loop 410 over on the south side of San Antonio. Utility work that will begin tomorrow and should be wrapping on Thursday, September 1st. This will begin at 9 in the morning and wrap around 3 in the afternoon. So this is during that busy time, but keep in mind, it's during that time a single main lane closure in both directions from Old Pearsall Road to I-37 is what drivers can expect. You can grab your phones, open your camera app, and scan that QR code that's now coming up on your screen. We just updated the list of road closures in the area, so just know how you can expect for the rest of August and, of course, as the days get closer to September. Guys.
If you were out of town or out of the house this weekend, we can tell you that the KSAT Pigskin Classic was an unqualified success. So much fun being down there with our GMSA and our KSAT family.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. The games were packed. It was neat to also see all the fans out there, and I think like everybody performing as well as the football players had a really good time out there.
Well, we think it's the start of a beautiful friendship for sure, and we're hoping that this will return next year. All indications are that it will be back and may even be bigger and better, Mike Osterhage.
The boss already said, mark your calendars for next year. But, you know, and hats off to all the folks. I mean, there's most of the on-air people that you can see, but you know, everybody, all of the engineers and the producers.
Call it a KSAT army.
Yeah, I mean, there were, what, 5, 6 dozen people down there at least handling all this. And that was just down at the Dome, and then all the folks that were back here, too. So it was a lot of fun.
What a production.
And the tens of thousands of people that came to see it, too.
Yeah.
And it was cool inside the Alamo Dome.
Also, it was pleasant inside the Alamo Dome. Thank goodness for that. Plus, the scholarship winners, too, from each of the 6 schools. Yes, so congratulations to you. All right, 410 over there by the airport. As you can see, the road is damp, and we do have some showers around the area as of right now. And these have been holding together, you know, fairly decent. Not anything really, really heavy, but obviously just enough to make the roads pretty damp around here. Let's zoom in even a little bit closer and see where all of these showers are. Coming through Terrell Hills, Alamo Heights right there on 281, and then up there by the airport, a couple of these showers, and then further off to the west, just around Balcones Heights, and this is right around 410 over there in between Bandera and 10, so a very heavily traveled area. That's where you're going to run into some of this light rain, and then just a few of these light little showers sort of scattered about the area as of right now. And We have a lot more down here to the south and to the southwest, right there in northern Atascosa County, and then even over toward Castroville, just a couple of these showers. More down here to the west and to the, to the east and to the southeast, and we will continue to see just a couple of these showers throughout the rest of the morning. And the majority of the rain right now is down here along the coast, and this is where the majority is going to be later on today, especially around Corpus Christi and Rockport, where there is some right now. So we're in the upper 70s. 10-20% chance. Obviously, there are some sprinkles around the area as of right now, and not kind of few and far between, if you will. And we'll see more sunshine later on today, kind of like yesterday. So that's going to help to heat us up. 95 high temperature, and about a 30% chance for some rain. Most of that, again, is primarily down to the southeast. Now, with the humidity, though, that 95 is going to be feeling more like 102 later on today. 103 Carrizo Springs, New Braunfels, as well as Pleasanton. Again, a couple of showers around here this morning. Then we see sort of a lull in the action as we go into late morning, early afternoon. And this model's not really too bullish about anything popping up. A couple of showers off to the east. It does try and get something scared up by around dinner time, early evening. But then better rain chances come into the forecast over the middle portion of the week, and even going in toward next weekend, we'll still have a couple of showers left over around here. So 87 degrees, call it partly cloudy skies, perhaps a couple of showers down to the southeast. That 30% chance for some rain, southeast primarily. One or two of those showers may try and, again, work their way a little further inland. 95 for a high temperature today, very steamy 95 degrees. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, the better chances for some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Low 90s to finish up August and start September, and then the unofficial end of summer this weekend will be in the low 90s. Couple of showers hanging around here.
As Mike Ostrich puts this, white slacks away for the year.
That's right. Not after Labor Day.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. And seersucker suit in the zipper bag. 622, 77 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, the Cowboys and Texans are all done with the preseason. And looking ahead to the regular season, we're going to take a look at both teams and their Week 1 matchups.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
The NFL preseason now in the books, and the games will start to count. The Cowboys and Texans both looking to Week 1 of the regular season. Texans coming in undefeated in the preseason. Houston's first game will be at home in an early matchup against AFC South rival Indianapolis. A win within the division would make for a strong start. Kickoff for that game set for Sunday, September 11th at noon. Meanwhile, Dallas getting ready to welcome Tom Brady and the Buccaneers to town for a primetime matchup. That game is also Sunday, September 11th. Kickoff 7:20 in the evening. AT&T Stadium over in Arlington. Good to have the guys back in action. And that's a quick look at sports.
Very good. Time now 6:25 and 77 degrees for now. And still ahead in our next half hour of GMSA, the details on a grocery store shooting in Oregon on Sunday that left 3 people dead.
Now we'll get ready for NASA's scheduled rocket launch from Cape Canaveral this morning. We'll tell you more about Artemis 1 headed to the moon.
My A1C stayed here. It needed to be here.
Ruby's A1C is down with Rybelsus.
My A1C wasn't at goal. Now I'm down with Rybelsus.
Mom's A1C is down with Rybelsus.
A1C down with Rybelsus. In a clinical study, once daily Rybelsus significantly lowered A1C better than a leading branded pill. Rybelsus isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't take Rybelsus if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or if allergic to it. Stop Rybelsus and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Gallbladder problems may occur. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Rybelsus with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Need to get your A1C down?
A1C down. Ask your healthcare provider about Rybelsus today.
Trouble didn't come knocking. It barged in on a man here in Leon Valley. Good morning. I'm Katrina Weber. Police say he was shot by someone who forced his way into his home. I'll tell you more about it.
Families of the Robb Elementary School shooting continue to fight for gun reform. Now that fight takes them to a Uvalde business. We'll explain.
And heavy flooding expected in Mississippi and other parts of the southern U.S. We're going to tell you how bad it could get.
Outside with live cam, yeah, grab an umbrella on your way out the door. We do have some sprinkles and showers here or there in the area. We'll talk to Mike Ostrage in just a sec. Good morning, everybody. It's Monday. That would be August 29th.
Happy Monday. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. A little humid out there and some spotty showers here and there.
So humid, it's about 100% in some spots, Mike Osterhage.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you can cut it with a knife almost. It was very, very humid yesterday afternoon. That's going to be the situation today. Heat index reading is going to be well up there in the low hundreds. And this morning we have a couple of showers to deal with. As you can see, the road is damp out there, 410 over there by the airport. And this is what it looks like on radar as of right now. Yeah, just a couple of spots here and there, maybe a few okay showers there, northern Atascosa County heading over into Medina County. But here in town, we've got just, again, a couple of these little spots here and there. They were moving through 281, 16, or 410 area, and over there 410 right around Bandera. Now it looks like most of the rain has ended, at least in the downtown area, and then those few showers again heading in toward right around Somerset, Lytle, Lacoste, and Natalia. A couple of these little showers, everything sliding off to the northwest, and Pleasanton, you're seeing a little bit of this rain, as was Floresville, and then more rain down to the southeast, and then some pretty good thunderstorms off the coast right there around Corpus Christi as well as Rockport. This is where the majority of the rain is going to be later on today. As a matter of fact, we will see some more sunshine later on this afternoon, kind of like yesterday, which again will really heat things up. Right now we've got a heat index of 78 in town. Still feels like 87 right around Castroville, 82 Port SA, and a lot of mold, a lot of fall elm showing up. Pigweed is on the low side. Updated count's going to come out in about say an hour or so. Very warm and humid. One or two of those light little showers, just enough to make the roads damp this morning, so maybe allow yourself some extra time. And then mid-90s, very humid. Rain down to the southeast. Now there's a chance one or two of those could move in a little bit further inland. Not very likely, though. And then midweek, better rain chances, low 90s. Still have plenty of humidity around here, but at least temperatures will be down good 4 or 5 degrees compared to today. And then a couple of showers over the long Labor Day weekend. Probably a slightly lesser chance for some rain, and we'll stay in the low 90s for the unofficial end of summer. We'll take a closer look at all the details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority. Damp roads, problems?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have a few issues out there, Mike. We talked about this one a little bit earlier, 35 at Nogalitos. What was reported as a crash, you can see almost now that we have a few road flares that are lined up out there. Also, what appears to be maybe a towing truck. It is still very dark, so it's hard to make out exactly what we're seeing, but something that is pretty easy to spot is the traffic that's already building up. Check out 35 in the northbound lanes. It's stretching back a bit, so this is an area where drivers can expect to see some slowdowns. Let's just get you to the map, because while we're not seeing anything major here in terms of any other crashes, you can see those slowdowns are picked up along 90, 151, and right there along 35. And that's where we're going to bring you in, because the crash looks like it's causing some issues in those northbound lanes. And for drivers heading in the eastbound lanes of Highway 90, they also are experiencing some trouble out there. We'll have to look for a different solution for you. But if you are heading in the northbound lanes of 90, what you could do here is exit Division Avenue, turn left on South Florida Street. We've outlined it there for you in the blue. Continue a little bit further up and take a left at West Avalos, and then you could get onto I-35 in the northbound lanes. But keep in mind, road work as well as stoplights could also cause a few slowdowns for you as well. So just watch out there. But this is an area that's already getting pretty busy. It's usually a really busy spot at any normal day, but with issues like this, could definitely hinder the commute. So just watch out for those first responders, and we'll work to get you through it. Guys.
Thank you, sir. Leon Valley police say an intruder used his foot to get inside a man's home and a gun to get revenge. They say that person kicked in the door of an apartment and then shot the man inside. Katrina Weber is live where it happened in the 5600 block of Evers Road. How's the victim doing, Katrina?
Well, good morning. Leon Valley Police told us that that victim is in serious condition. They say he was shot several times by that intruder here at the Vista Del Rey apartments. The victim was rushed to a hospital. Officers who stayed behind investigated the shooting, going through the apartment for evidence and looking for witnesses. They say the gunman kicked in the door to the victim's apartment before 10 last night, called the victim a thief, and then started shooting. The man who lives in the apartment was hit several times. Police say there also was a woman inside that apartment at the time, but she took off running when the shooting started. The shooter ran away. The only information that police had on him was that he was wearing a blue shirt and jeans. Reporting live in Leon Valley, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. This morning, San Antonio police are looking for a suspect who they believe forced his way into an apartment and shot 2 men. This happened around 10 o'clock last night on East South Cross, not far from South WW White. Officers tell us that they found 2 men injured with gunshot wounds in that apartment. One was shot in the foot. The other victim, a 20-year-old man, was shot in the chest. Police say that man, his injury was critical. A man is facing charges after an early morning crash. So this was the scene at 3:30 this morning on 281 and Josephine. That's just north of downtown. Investigators say that driver was going the wrong way on the highway and slammed into another vehicle. A woman in that car was taken to the hospital.
Uvalde families calling on a local gun shop to stand with them in light of the Robb Elementary shooting. In a petition letter sent at the beginning of August, families are asking Oasis Outback to stop selling assault-style rifles and ammo out of respect for the lives taken back on May 24th. Oasis Outback is where the gunman bought 2 AR-15 rifles. The letter, which has thousands of signatures, including that of Uvalde CISD Superintendent Dr. Hal Harrell, asks Oasis Outback to respond and comply within 30 days. If they don't, families say they are ready to keep fighting.
We too felt like we failed her, not fighting harder to get in. We're not going to fail them a second time.
We called Oasis Outback for a comment. So far, we have not heard back.
Some other big stories this morning. 3 people are dead following a shooting inside an Oregon grocery store. Police in Bend say the shooting happened at a Safeway last night around 7 p.m. The shooter entered from the back of the shopping center with an AR-15 style rifle.
One person was found shot inside the store entrance. They were taken to the hospital where they were pronounced dead. Police believe the suspect continued firing in the store, killing a second person. The third person officers found dead is believed to be the shooter. Multiple law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, are involved in the investigation. Well, Mississippi and other parts of the South are bracing for significant flooding.
The Pearl River near Jackson is expected to crest today. The sandbags are down in Jackson, Mississippi. During breaks in the previous days of rain, some people left town.
At least 100 homes are at risk of floodwaters. Many who live there remember the punishing floods of 2020. Climate scientists warn the latest droughts and floods in the U.S. and other parts of the world will not be the last.
We've built major cities next to these bodies of water, and we've built modern supply chains based on predictable weather patterns of the last, couple hundred years, and all of that is up in the air right now.
And showers are also expected in some portions of Texas, Louisiana, and Florida. And the death toll continues to rise in Pakistan, where monsoon rains and flooding have killed more than 1,000 people, including more than 350 children. The Pakistani army is helping with relief and rescue operations as the government calls for international aid.
The country experiencing its 8th cycle of monsoon rains. Normally, Pakistan only has 3 to 4 cycles of rainfall. At least 33 million people have been affected by the flooding. Coming up on Good Morning America, story has a lot of people buzzing this morning. A 10-year-old boy saves his mom from drowning after she suffers a seizure in their swimming pool. Look for that story on GMA beginning at 7 right here on KSAT 12.
And Democratic candidate for Governor Beto O'Rourke has put his campaign on hold after getting sick. He says he was hospitalized on Friday here in San Antonio for a bacterial infection. Now, after receiving IV antibiotics, doctors told him to go home and rest. He will recuperate at his home in El Paso. A number of events are being postponed as a result.
The federal government is ending its offer to ship free at-home COVID tests on Friday. That's because Congress hasn't provided additional funding necessary to continue the program. The Biden administration first launched the program back in January. Well, now to that high-stakes space mission. This is a live look from Cape Canaveral, Florida, where NASA is getting ready for the historic launch, sending its most powerful rocket on a test flight around the moon. You see the launch right now is being held at T-minus 40 minutes and counting. They've had some fuel leaks to report earlier. This would be the first major step for NASA's Artemis program. ABC's Morgan Norwood is at the Kennedy Space Center with more.
Good morning. The countdown is on right behind me. So much excitement here on the ground. 250,000 people watching from here, with millions more of you watching from home. We're all going to be witnessing the beginning of what NASA hopes will be a sustained presence on the moon. Here's how it works. Later this morning, sometime between 8:33 and 10:33 Eastern, NASA's new space launch system, the SLS, most powerful rocket in the world, will fly for the first time, carrying the Orion space capsule with it. Now, Orion will take about 3 days to get to the moon. It's going to fly around it, then come back home. 42 days total for this mission. That return home is what NASA will be looking at very closely to eventually bring humans back down to Earth. And there's a 2-hour launch window to hit lunar orbit. So if things don't take off as planned today, don't worry, it will get up there. Friday is the next window. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
Again, the countdown is on hold for now. Well, coming up this morning on GMSA 9, just hours after the scheduled launch, we'll talk more about Artemis 1.
Retired NASA astronaut Colonel Eileen Collins will join us live here in the studio, and we are excited to talk about this historic mission with her. That's ahead on GMSA at 9.
And that interview is a go, no matter what. 641, about 77 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, Americans drank more during the pandemic, and that trend continues. And while you may be a long way from rock bottom, how do you know if you're in the gray? We will explain right after the break.
C.com.
644, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but it seems more and more people aren't saying no to the next drink.
According to a nationwide survey, the frequency of alcohol consumption is on the rise, especially among women. Now, some are labeling the habit changes as gray area drinking. So health experts say heavy drinking for women is considered more than 3 drinks in a day or more than 7 drinks in a week. For men, it's more than 4 a day or 14 in a week.
But gray area drinking is harder to define. Some of the red flags you should look out for. If work performance suffers or your relationships are becoming strained, you might be in the gray area.
Also, if you worry about your drinking or if you quit drinking and then continue, the best way to stay out of that gray area is by tracking your drinks. And there are at least a dozen apps to help monitor consumption.
Now, there's even an app that connects to a breathalyzer. You can read more about this story over at KSAT.com.
And time now, 6:45. Looks like a little bit of problems out there at I-35 in Nogalitos. Let's go ahead and check back with Steven.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is an issue we've talked about for a little while now, and we're still seeing the problems actually stretch out a little bit further. This is off 35 in the northbound lanes, and you can see those road flares out there in the distance, along with some of those lights, which indicates we're seeing the slowdowns. And also in the southbound lanes of 35 also appears to get pretty busy out there, according to what we're seeing on TransGuide. Let's take you to the map, because that crash reported in the northbound lanes of I-35 near Nogalitos. You can see the issues it's already causing, but also the issues it's leading to along US 90 in those eastbound lanes. A lot of travelers trying to make their way into the Alamo City from Castroville, so 90 already a busy spot. So this crash is not helping the situation out there. But let's take a look at just some alternatives if you are just trying to get onto 35 and heading on 90. Here's a quick solution. Turn right onto exit Southwest 36 and then take a right at Commerce. You'll continue a little bit further on West Commerce until you hit 35th Street, but you can see that may be a different route you could take so you can avoid the issues that we're seeing out there along 35. But giving you a bird's eye view of the metro area, the slowdowns also going back a little bit further there off US 90. Construction probably leading to that slowdown over there on the northwest side near Helotes, State Highway 151. We're getting those clusters of red, which does indicate slowdowns are already taking place. Mike Osterhage, we've talked about some of those wet roads we've seen out there. What else can we expect?
Well, it's just going to be a couple of scattered light little showers this morning. Already a couple of, well, not necessarily clear spots, but thinner spots in the clouds up there. The road is still wet over there by 410, looking off to the east by the airport. And we still have plenty of showers down here to the southeast, but a little bit further in, as you can see that we do have some of these. Let me go click a button real quickly over here, and we've got a couple of these showers that are still around the area right now, and they will continue to work their way off to the northeast at well, a fairly decent clip, and sort of fizzle on out as the morning rolls on. We've got more showers down to the southeast, and It's not a big deal as far as rain is concerned. But again, these light little showers will continue to sort of stick around throughout the rest of the morning. And again, zooming in right here in town, just a few leftovers over there right around northern Atascosa County and then over there in Medina County. Here in town, we've still got some on the northwest side of town over there by Hollywood Park, heading over towards 1604 and then right around Bandera and in toward the, well, right about the medical center. But elsewhere, it looks like some of the rain has come to an end, although one or two of those sprinkly showers there around Elmendorf. So you might still see one or two of them around this morning. 78 degrees is what it feels like when you step outside. When you factor in the humidity, it's pretty darn humid like it was yesterday. That's going to be the situation again today. 82 at Port SA. Now, as far as the allergens, mold, fall, elm are on the high side. Pigweed is low as of right now, and we're going to have the updated count come out in just a couple of just about an hour or so, and warm and humid this morning. A couple of showers are possible around the area. Again, they're kind of tapering off a little bit, and then throughout the rest of today, we're going to be in the mid-90s. Humid, some of the rain primarily down to the southeast, and then going into midweek, we'll have better rain chances, low 90s around here. Then we go in toward Labor Day weekend. A couple of showers are still going to be possible over the Labor Day weekend, low 90s, so that's going to be a great way to kind of the unofficial end of summer, just in the low 90s after such a hot summer around here. As far as number form or looking at it in numbers, we've got temperatures that are going to be in the mid 90s today. Again, a lot of humidity. It's going to feel like the low hundreds. Then we stay in the low 90s all the way through the rest of the week and the weekend. 40% chance of rain tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are going to be the better chances for some rain. Still a couple of showers left over around here on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe Monday, low 90s. If you've got plans outside for the weekend, I would not change them at all. Just kind of keep your umbrella handy, which you're going to have to keep it handy all week long anyway. So, but what a great finish to August.
Yeah.
You know, we've had 7 days at triple digits in the first part of the month, but after that, June and July, yeah.
You ready for another bold and totally baseless prediction, weather-wise?
Okay.
We may not hit 100 again for the rest of the year.
Oh, yeah.
It's looking that way.
See?
Bravo.
It is definitely looking that way. So staying in second place.
Yeah. We're okay with that.
One day away from the all-time record. But
we're number 2, and we're okay with that. 650, 77 degrees.
And tomorrow on GMSA, should recess be mandatory? We're going to show you how it can play an important role in your child's life.
Outside with Live Cam, grab a fresh cup of coffee. We'll wrap up GMSA after this break.
Care. We treat you well.
The sandbags are down in Jackson, Mississippi. At least 100 homes are at risk as floodwaters rise.
Pearl River is forecast to crest today at 35.5 feet.
During breaks in the days of rain, some residents left town.
We're going to get out of here for safety. We got a truck loaded up.
There's my car. He's stuck. Can't drive. It's too low.
Many who live here remember the punishing floods of 2020.
The whole house was damaged. We had to gut it inside. All of the walls had to be out. We lost everything.
Other areas of Mississippi could flood, and even parts of neighboring states.
We're looking at showers and thunderstorms, increasing the flood threat across portions of Texas, southern Louisiana, and a good portion of Florida.
The water cycle that we learned in 7th grade is completely unpredictable now.
Climate scientists warn the latest droughts and floods in the U.S. and other parts of the world won't be the last.
We've built major cities next to these bodies of water, and we've built modern supply chains based on predictable weather patterns of the last, couple hundred years, and all of that is up in the air right now.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Unfortunately, the situation is not improved here off of 35 near US 90 in Oglitos. Let's get a wider look at TransGuide where we can see almost a parking lot is already starting to form. And this is in those eastbound lanes, which are always traveled through for a lot of commuters. So you have to watch out in this direction if you are traveling in from Castroville, because not a good place where we are seeing this crash that's causing some issues. You can see it there in the northbound lanes of 35 near Nogalitos, where we are also seeing that buildup. And now as we give you that wide look at the map there at 655, looks like we have a few other issues that have popped up here along 281, now also at State Highway 151 as well. Of course, we're going to watch these issues closely, but Mike, looks like maybe those damp roads caused some issues.
Yeah, just enough rain to slow things down. As you can see, plenty of clouds, but then way off in the distance there, a little bit of some lighter skies as the sun is thinking about coming up. This is what is looking like on radar right now. Just a few little leftover sprinkles on the northwest side of town. This one spot just about to cross 35 there in the southeastern part of Bexar County, and that's going to be heading in toward 90. So if you're coming in 90 from Hondo, you may run into a couple of these little sprinkly showers. Same thing heading down 37 right around Pleasanton. 77 high today at 95.
All right, thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 9.